Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the top 5 players at each position in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. Not going to be going too in-depth with each card because we're ranking 25 cards in this video. We're going to take a look at each one, explain my logic between the top 5 at each position. Should give y'all a really good picture of the cards y'all should be targeting between free cards, expensive cards, and budget cards, all of which are included in these top 5 lists at each position. So definitely going to be an interesting list. So hopefully y'all do enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And yeah, without further ado, let's hop right into it. And let's start off with the point guard position. And we'll start off with the 5th best point guard in the game, which in my opinion is going to be Allen Iverson. I was thinking he might be as high as number 3 yesterday. I think I'm going to go number 5 for AI. He's a very good card, but 6 foot with a 6'3" wingspan is still very small. He doesn't guard at all in the interior, and he's not an elite perimeter defender either. 93 speed and excel, 80 shot 3, can dunk the ball well, has pretty good shooting badges, amazing playmaking badges, and decent finishing badges. Dunks pretty consistently. Movement is really nice, and he's got a super smooth release and an elite fade. He is a phenomenal option at the point guard position. Oladipo is going to come in at number 4 for me. Did gameplay with this card that dropped just about an hour ago, actually. So if y'all want to check out gameplay with this Oladipo card, he got changed to a point guard yesterday. He's a 6'3" PG with a 6'9" wingspan, gives him really good size. Really nice release. Solid all-around bronze and silver shooting, finishing, and playmaking badges. Defensive badges are really nice. He's a very good perimeter defender, has great size, decent speed, athletic, and can shoot the 3. Dunks the ball well. Movement is not great, and he doesn't have a high enough ball handle to get timing bursts, so he's not a primary ball handler, but his release is really nice. He's a secondary ball handler at point guard, so he's best next to a guy like Devin Booker, but he's a phenomenal option at the PG position. At number 3, I'm going to go with Baron Davis. I am so high on this B. Diddy card. I'm currently using him off my bench, and I think he's an absolute dog. Got this card for free out of the Amethyst Equal Chance pack, the Ruby Equal Chance pack for the Dunktober set. 6'3" with a 6'5" wingspan, 86 speed and excel. Very good, or very decent shooter. He's got Damian Lillard base. I mean, his jumper is nice. He dunks the ball really well, and again, defends on a very high level on the perimeter. Very similar to Oladipo. He just is faster than Oladipo, has a higher ball handle, and moves better. Maybe not quite as good of a defender as Oladipo, but he's not far behind, and he's almost as good of a shooter as well. And him having the ability to create more on offense and be more of a primary ball handler point guard if necessary as well is a little more valuable to me than Oladipo maybe being a slightly better shooter or defender, but not significant at all. Kyrie's going to come in at number 2 for me. I'm not actually using Kyrie a ton right now. I'm using him as my 3rd PG in my last 3 because I think a Baron and an Oladipo both fit better next to Devin Booker than Kyrie does, and I love Devin Booker. But 93 speed and excel, 92 shot 3. I mean, the badges are insane, especially the shooting and playmaking badges. Defensively, he's not terrible, but he's not great. Release is a little bit baited. That's Kyrie's biggest flaw, as we know, but he's still a phenomenal top-tier point guard that is in almost everyone's lineup. And then Steph Curry is the best point guard in the game right now. I mean, nobody moves the way that Steph does while having the release at the caliber that he does. He's not even that horrible of a defender. I mean, he's not a good defender by any means. He's pretty similar to Steph, but he's an insane shooter. Neither of them can dunk. I mean, pretty similar to Kyrie, but neither he and Kyrie can dunk, but he moves almost as good as Kyrie. Dribble style isn't good, but all of his other sigs, I would say, are better than Kyrie's pretty much. And then his release is so good, and he is just such an offensively elite card. Best point guard in the game is definitely Steph Curry right now. And this is my top 5 PGs. Now, moving on to the shooting guard position at number 5, Vince Carter. I will say this has stayed pretty standard, this top 5 for the last couple of weeks. But 6'6", 6'9" wingspan, athletic, can shoot, can dunk, decent perimeter defender, very capable shooter, very, very good finisher, and a pretty good playmaker as well. Can't same-side burst well, but overall, Vince is an absolutely elite option. At the number 4 spot, I'm going to go Tracy McGrady. I'm not that high on T-Mac. I mean, I think he's very good. I think he's athletic. I don't think he moves very well, but I do think he is pretty athletic. He's got good speed. He defends better than his stats and badges say because he is 6'8", and he shoots the ball really well with a very nice release. Although I will say T-Mac's upper is not as good as his base, but he is a very, very good card still. Don't think he's quite top 3, but I think he's top 4. I think honestly the top 5 shooting guards are pretty interchangeable though. Dr. J, 86 speed, lower 3 ball, but very good defender, has some good defensive badges, great size, really nice player build at 6'7" with a big player build. Very athletic, of course, dunking the ball, and he has an elite level release and MJ dribble style. One of my favorite all-around cards in my team right now. D-Book is at number 2 simply because his fade is so good and his release is so good. This card is ridiculously overpowered. overpowered on the offensive end of the court. After Steph Curry, I think he might be the best offensive option in the game, which is currently why he runs my offense from the bench. 6'5" with a 6'6" wingspan. I don't care that he has 79 speed and excel. I mean, I put a shoe on him, so it's like an 83 now, but this card is crazy good. He's an absolute elite option at the shooting guard position on the offensive end of the court, and it's good enough to put him as the second best shooting guard in the game. And then B. Roy's just the best all-around shooting guard. He's got 80-something. He's got high 80s speed. Pretty much key stats across the board are really good. The perimeter defense is good. The lateral quickness is great. He can get every badge, so you can add defensive badges to him, upgrade his playmaking badges, upgrade his shooting badges if you want, add badges like Agent 3 and other defensive badges he doesn't have. He's such an incredible all-around card with an amazing release, very capable movement, and is still the best shooting guard in the game, in my opinion. At the 3, starting off with the number 5 spot, I'm going with this Robert Covington card that came out yesterday. Is this gassing it a little bit? Arguably. Is it also arguable that he's the 5th best small forward in the game? 100%. Because he has a very, very smooth release, and he's a very, very good, versatile defender. I understand he's not super fast, not super athletic, but he is one of the best 3-and-D cards in the games. Roko's defensive animations are always amazing. The wingspan is huge. He defends on the interior and the perimeter. He is an incredible budget card, and definitely one of the better small forwards in my team as well. Connie Hawkins coming in at number 4 for me. This card is different than any other card in the game. I'm doing gameplay with this card later today. I already recorded it. It's going to be releasing later on this afternoon, so be on the lookout for that. This card is really interesting. It has Kyrie dribble style, which is the best dribble style in the game. Only small forward who's viable at all who has that dribble style. Really only card outside of Kyrie that's viable right now that has that dribble style, which makes him move really, really well. You can actually run a lot of offense with him, especially since he's got decent playmaking badges. He's not the best defender in the world, but he is very athletic and has a massive player build, and his release is smooth even though he has a low 3-ball. Very weird card, but because he's so good as a playmaker and a slasher and has such good size, I think he's a really, really nice option. I do think he actually is a top 5 small forward. Grant Hill is going to come in at number 3 for me. By the way, I do want to just say I'm not including players at multiple positions. Players are only at one position on this list, so I'm not going to have Anthony Davis on both power forward and center, for example. But 6'8" with a 6'11" wingspan for Grant Hill, 89 speed and excel, capable shooter with a smooth, easy release, very good dunker, and a great defensive card. Super solid on the perimeter. Not the most insane on the interior, but good enough. 72 is not bad. Very athletic, and he's got a nice release. I think he's one of the best small forwards in the game. Jason Tatum might be the most well-rounded small forward in the game in terms of playmaking, shooting, defense. Has a great release. He's just a phenomenal all-around card. Has decent speed, well-rounded defender, athletic, shoots the ball well. Really nice all-around badges as well. In every area, he's got key badges, which is really, really nice. And he is an absolute dog. And then number 1 is still Scottie Pippen, just the best 3-and-D card in the game. Hoff clamps, Hoff challenger, incredible perimeter defender, very big and physical at 6'8", amazing release, super fast, and great dunker. Big player build at 6'8", long arms. He's just an absolute monster and the best small forward in my team right now. At the 4, I actually do think the 4 is probably the weakest position in my team right now, but Draymond Green's going to come in at the number 5 spot. A really, really good free defensive card, 6'6" with a 7'1" wingspan. No 3-point hotspots. He's an okay shooter, much better shooter if you have the Curry duo. He becomes a lot better card, especially offensively, and gets some speed boost, but he already has decent speed, great defender, okay shooter, can hit wide open, and then playmaking and defense is really, really solid, especially the defense. He's an elite level defender at the 4, and he can do enough offensively to make up for he's good enough offensively where his defense being so good is super valuable and plays him onto the court for a lot of teams. Sean Marion's at number 4 for me. Kind of like Dre, a little undersized at only 6'7", but he's got really good rebounding badges, quality interior and a perimeter defender, versatile, pretty good speed, can shoot the ball okay. Release is really ugly, but it's fast and smooth, so that's nice. And then he's a very, very good finisher as well, athletic and good defender. Doesn't have anchor or clamps, which might be the 2 most important defensive badges, which is annoying, but he's still a really good defensive card. So if that makes any sense at all. At the number 3 spot at the 4, we have Bam Adebayo, who is like a mid-70s speed card with a very nice release. 65 3-balls low, but the release is really smooth, and he's a really good defender with half anchor, pretty good dunker, and I really like Bam's release as well. 6'9" with a 7'2" wingspan, long arms, rebounds the ball pretty well. He's a very, very good card. At number 2, I'm going with this Larry Bird card. I am really high on this Larry legend. He is a very, very versatile power forward who shoots the ball incredibly well. The shooting that he gives you, 94 3-ball, all the shooting badges, is so nice. And while he's not fast, he's not horribly slow compared to the other power forwards we're looking at. And then defensively, he's pretty versatile. 80 interior, 83 lateral quickness, can dunk the ball wide open. I think the shooting threat that he provides as a pick and pop power forward, in addition to being a pretty good defender, makes him a really, really nice card. And then at number 1, I'm going with Sean Kemp. My favorite option besides the guys that are at center. Honestly, there are 3 guys I have at the center position that are as good or better than Kemp, but still as a card. But at power forward specifically, I love this Kemp card super athletic, really, really nice release is the Romeo Langford base, even though he's kind of got a low 3-ball rating, which is only like a 68, but he's hyper athletic with good speed, a very large player build at 6'10 with a 7'1 wingspan, and a big player built on top of it. Off pogo stick, really solid defensive badges. I know the defensive stats aren't insane, but the high vertical, the off pogo stick, some decent badges here and there. Help him to be a very capable defender as well, really athletic, and a really nice catch and shoot shooter. One of my favorite cards in my lineup right now. At center, going with Hakeem at number 5. Hakeem is just a really solid inside. He might be your best chance at stopping Shaq in terms of pure player build and interior defense. But 7-footer with a 7'3 wingspan. Unfortunately, he's not crazy fast and he can't shoot the 3, which really limits his upside, because even though he's a very good inside, he's never going to be as good as Shaq when he's significantly slower than Shaq. And even though he can hit a mid-range, the inability to even hit a wide open 3 at any sort of consistent level is very, very unfortunate and really prevents Hakeem from being a top 2 or 3 center, but he's still good enough to squeak into the top 5. I think Serge Ibaka is number 4, honestly. This card is an absolute monster for his value, just like Baron Davis, just like Robert Covington, guys like that. 6'10 with a 7'4 wingspan, 73 shot 3, decent speed, dunks the ball really well, 87 interior, 90 block, gold anchor, brick wall, pogo stick, chase downers, box out beast, post lockdown, silver rebound chaser. It's upgradable, and he's super athletic. Plus, he's got a nice, fast, smooth release. He's a really, really nice card at the big man center position because he can defend at a very high level on the interior. He's got capable speed, same speed as Hakeem basically, and can shoot the 3 while dunking really well. A really, really good all-around budget card. Anthony Davis comes in at number 3 for me. I think AD would have been number 1 or number 2 at power forward, but I decided to include him at center because that's where more people are using him. One of the best value cards in the game, just like Ibaka. For 140 KMT, you're just not going to get a better big. 72 speed and excel, 74 shot 3. Dunking is really nice. 90 interior, 85 block, off anchor and post lock, gold, chase down and pogo stick, silver brick wall, rebound chaser. Does shoot the ball pretty well. They changed AD's release this year, and it's pretty good. He's a very solid slasher. And yes, he does shoot the ball really, really nice this year. Wouldn't say he's quite good enough to be used as a playmaker right now, but he can attack slower bigs off the dribble and stuff pretty well, get to the rim, that type of stuff. I like AD, and I think he's a very, very solid option at center. At number 2, I'm going with Chris Bosh. I struggled to figure out Bosch's release for a couple days, but I've pretty much gotten it down, and I like this card a ton. 80 speed and excel is really good for a big man. He's an elite interior defender. The best part about this card is that he can get every badge, and then he's a really good shooter as well. But the fact I can upgrade and add any badge on him is super nice. He's a very capable dunker. He's got very good size, 6'11 with a 7'3 wingspan. Release is smooth and not bad, but it's not as fast as it's been in previous years, and the green window can be a bit tougher to find. So you're going to have to adjust to his release if you do get the card. But for people who are able to get this card for winning 15 games in a row in Triple Threat Online, they're generally the better, more skilled players anyway, so they'll probably be able to find his release without too much of a problem, just with some practice. And I think Bosch is an absolute monster. But number 1 is still Shaq. He is still the best card in the game, and really, in my opinion, the only card in the game that isn't properly paced. Everybody else has weaknesses. I mean, even Bosch, his release is not that great. He has some sort of weaknesses. Curry's the best point guard in the game, but he can't dunk, and he doesn't defend. He doesn't get every badge. Shaq is really the only card in this game that doesn't have much of a weakness. Well, he has a huge weakness, shooting, but still, he doesn't have the type of weakness that these other cards have, and that he's insanely fast. He's insanely athletic, and he's unbelievably versatile as a defender. He is a mismatch nightmare on both ends of the court, on the interior, and even on the perimeter defensively. I mean, he is just an absolute menace. There is no big man better than Shaq in this game right now, and there might not be for a while. He is kind of broken in terms of the pacing. I'm interested to see if KD is going to just be like 93 speed and broken in the pacing as well, because KD with 93 speed and Hoff limitless and Hoff speed booster, they're going to give KD something stupid to make him absolutely ridiculous and make people lock in for him too, I bet, because he would be crazy. But Shaq is a very good card. He's an elite level center in my team, and will be the best center in the game for the foreseeable future, I think. So that is going to do it for this video, though. This is my top 5 players at each position. Point guard is Steph Curry, Kyrie, Baron Davis, Victor Oladipo, and AI. Shooting guard, B-Roy, D-Book, Dr. J, T-Mac, and Vince Carter. Scottie Pippen, Jason Tatum, Grant Hill, Connie Hawkins, and Rocco at the 3. Then at the 4, we got Sean Kemp, Larry Bird, Bam Adebayo, Sean Marion, and Dre. And then at the 5, we got Shaq, Chris Bosh, AD, Serge Ibaka, and Hakeem the Dream. Really, really solid lists. All 5 of these positions, I feel like, are becoming deeper and more talented, and honestly, more and more value options as well. 3 of the 5 guys in this top 5 point guards can be free. Baron Davis possibly. Oladipo and Kyrie can both be gotten from grinding. The shooting guard position, Brandon Roy is free. Dr. J and Vince Carter are 140k MT. Small forward position, 140k MT. Connie Hawkins is less than that. Rocco is 7k MT. So power forward position, Sean Kemp is expensive, but Larry Bird's expensive. Bam's expensive. Sean Marion's expensive. Draymond's free. You don't need all these guys. And that center, AD is 140k. Serge is 63. Hakeem is 440k. Shaq or Chris Bosh is free if you're good enough to get him. There are so many options in this game that are affordable cards and can be top tier options, and lots of free grindable cards that are in these top 5s as well. Pretty impressed with that. So you can build a no money spent team very capably in this game. I promise y'all, man, there are a lot of good cards that aren't the most expensive cards in the game. So with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. Hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.